Legends speak of a warrior who, with his own sword, sealed his destiny and his soul. A man whose name has been recorded in the whispers of death and in the echoes of love. Its history is an eternal rebirth, an endless cycle that neither time nor death could break. This is the story of Kaito, a samurai whose heart still burns in every life he lives, trapped by a curse that not even the gods could foresee. The wind blew furiously that night, bringing with it the fragrance of war. The battlefield was strewn with the lost souls of those who fell to the sword of Kaito, a young samurai known for his skill and honor. But that night, his sword found a wound deeper than the flesh of his enemies, the murder of his best friend, Haru. The betrayal had flowed like a river of blood between them, for Haru was not an enemy, but a brother in spirit. But in the heat of battle, Kaito, blinded by rage, plunged his sword into his chest. Haru's look, full of incomprehension, was the last image Kaito saw before falling, also wounded, on the bloody ground. At that moment, Kaito didn't understand what he had done. But the voice of death called him, and as he fell into a dark abyss, something more than life itself was taken from him, his soul. The curse was spoken by an ancient warrior spirit, a forgotten god of war. "Your soul will be mine," said the spirit in a cold whisper, "and you will live again and again, without rest, until you pay for your sin." Years later, Kaito woke up in another body, at another time, under similar circumstances. His memory, although fragmented, told him that he had lived before, and although the face and age of his new life were different, the weight of guilt never left him. He lived once again as a samurai, fighting a war he did not understand, facing enemies who seemed more like ghosts than men. In each life, Kaito sought forgiveness. In each life, he revived his lost love, Rika, a woman who had been his comfort in his first hours of pain, and who, in each of his lives, returned as a soul destined to find him. Every time he died, the cycle repeated itself. Regardless of the battles won or lost, regardless of the achievements achieved, Kaito was reborn in a new body, facing the same war, the same impossible love, and the same curse. In one of his lives, Kaito was a respected leader of his clan, known for his bravery and wisdom in combat. But the shadows of the past always caught up with him, and as the battles raged around him, his mind was filled with memories of Rika, the woman he had never been able to keep at his side. In his dreams, he saw her; in his heart, he felt her, although in each life she died before he could declare his love for her. Rika was the key, Kaito thought, the only way to break the curse. If only he could save her, he would break the cycle and find peace. But every time he met her, a cruel fate separated them. In each life, Rika was born, but not in the same way. Sometimes she was a noblewoman, other times a peasant, but they always crossed at the same point, only to be taken away by war, by fate. The war between the clans intensified and, in Kaito's last life, a great battle was fought in the same lands where he had first fallen. This time, his love for Rika was stronger than ever. Finally, she recognized him. The two shared one last night together, filled with promises and tears, knowing that war would tear them apart. "This time, I won't lose you," Kaito promised. But dawn brought tragedy. Rika was taken to death before Kaito could save her, and despair filled his soul once again, dooming him to revive. In his last reincarnation, Kaito was wiser and more cautious. The curse had transformed him, but it had not broken him. Every death, every sacrifice, had brought him closer to the peace he longed for. At this point, the warrior was no longer fighting only for revenge, but for the redemption of his soul. In the final confrontation, after centuries of fighting, Kaito came face to face with the same spirit that had cursed him. The god of war, now stripped of his power, looked at him with tired eyes. "You have lived many lives, and you have paid for your sins. What more is left to do?" Kaito, tired of war and his unrequited love, spoke with a deep voice, "I have experienced 1,000 deaths, but revenge is not what I seek. I want to rest." The spirit, seeing the sincerity in his eyes, raised his hand and broke the cycle. "Your soul has learned what it needed to learn. The curse is over. Now, you can rest." Kaito's last life ended without war, without blood, without betrayal. Finally, Rika was waiting for him in the afterlife. In her arms, Kaito found the peace he had sought so long, while his soul, free at last, joined her in eternal rest. And so ends the legend of the lost warrior, a man who, despite his failures, found redemption through sacrifice, love and forgiveness. And although Kaito's story has closed, in every corner of the world, when the wind blows strong, you can still hear the echoes of his sword and the whispers of his lost love. Because true warriors do not die, but live eternally in the memories of those who loved them. Subscribe if you don't already, please, to live wonderful stories together on your Time Travelers channel. Blessings, until next time.